Hi everyone, welcome to the Feed the Soul Company podcast. I'm your host, Livvy, and I can't thank you enough for being here. It means a lot to me that you're taking time out of your day to listen to this. But this episode is called I Didn't Do This Right. And I want to take this episode to reintroduce myself, reintroduce Feed the Soul Company. Think of this as like a part 2 to my player profile series video from Instagram. On my Instagram, I have a video that was produced through UNLV Volleyball, and I'm very grateful for it. I go on there and I talk a little bit about myself and what I'm passionate about, which is mental health for student athletes. But in that video, I feel like I was very rushed, and I spoke a lot about what I want Feed the Soul to be, but I feel like it deserves a little bit more time and space for that. So this is what I'm here to do on my first episode. And I just felt that me and Feed the Soul can't be summed up in one small Instagram reel. So here we are. Welcome to my first episode. To reintroduce myself, I'm Liv, and even though I like to be called Livvy, it's a great nickname. My parents gave that to me. I've been going by Livvy my whole life. I really like it when people call me Liv. I think that's like a sweet spot for me. It's like a nice spot in my heart. So if you call me Liv, and I feel like if you're listening to this, you deserve to call me Liv. You're in. So I'm Liv, and some of my labels that I have, I'm currently a student athlete at University of Nevada, Las Vegas, or also known as UNLV. I'm on the volleyball team there, and I'm a senior. But to describe myself and who I am outside of my sport, I have a lot of different interests. There's a lot of things I want to explore. I'm very versatile. I would say I can't really be summed up in one episode either, so Feed the Soul is also my chance to take each episode in whatever aspect of my life I want to talk about. I can use that as well. Even though I'm reintroducing myself this episode, this doesn't mean I am only summed up in the 3 minutes I'm talking to you guys or however long this will be. But some aspects of my life that have influenced me, I moved from California to Michigan in the middle of middle school, and I went to high school in Michigan. And my dad passed away my senior year of high school, and then I moved back to Vegas, or the west side of the country, for volleyball when I moved to UNLV. And Feed the Soul, this podcast, as I explain a little bit more, I'll be talking about the recovery side of sport and your mental health. So these are some of the aspects that impacted my mental health and the different areas I want to talk about, which I'll plan to elaborate later on. But again, like I said, it doesn't take one episode to encompass Liv Setla. But this episode is called I Didn't Do This Right, because one thing I want to address is that I am a recovering perfectionist. I want things to be perfect in every aspect of my life, and I push myself to 110%. Thanks, Dad, for that, by the way. But I didn't do this right, and in doing this episode, I want to kind of heal that part of me, try to start that. I'm talking to you guys about this, and I don't need to have it scripted out, word for word perfect. However I edit it, it doesn't need to be the most perfect product or this most perfect recording, but I want to be real. I want to stop living my life so rigidly and thinking that things need to be perfect when being perfect is so unrealistic. But for me, it's just easier said than done. And I care a lot about what I do and what I say. So, and I didn't do this right. I'm hoping to channel some of my dad and do projects that don't need to be perfect and accomplish things. I remember one video he made. It was a high school volleyball video. It was a highlight reel for the end of the year banquet. And I remember he spent hours on this video, and I was sitting in his office with him as he was editing each clip. And at the end of the video, it looked great. I thought it was awesome. But he didn't say, "Oh, this is perfect, I'm done." He said, "Well, I just hope everyone likes it." And that moment really stuck with me. And that's what I kind of want to embody as I embark on my new projects, my own things, like he did. But So what is Feed the Soul? Let me reintroduce that for you guys. Feed the Soul was an idea I had a year ago, and I just think we hear a lot about grind culture on the internet, especially for athletes, how they work out 24/7, 365, what are you doing to get in the gym? What are you doing to work harder? And I love that. That was super motivating for me growing up. But then I hit a point where it was like, I'm doing everything I can, working as hard as I can. Why do I feel like I'm not getting better? Why do I feel like I've stopped growing? And there's a side of sport that no one talks about that is actually super important, and that's recovery. So for me, recovery wasn't really a thing growing up. Not that mental health wasn't, but I just didn't know how to recover. I only thought extra reps and workouts were going to make me a better athlete. But sleeping, eating right, all of those areas of recovery also help you become a better athlete. And I didn't realize that until college, which is super awesome because UNLV has all these great resources that I've been able to lean on and learn that through. But Feed the Soul will be a space that I've created where we can talk about our recovery for our sport. And I want people to come on here and share their story and talk about how they take care of themselves so that they can be the best version of themselves. For me, what helps me feed my soul is this podcast. Something that I've realized about myself is that what makes me feel really good is connecting with others. And that takes many mediums in my life. I'm on a volleyball team. I play with different people. I like art. I like storytelling. I like TV shows, movies. And these are all ways I think people tell stories and find ways to connect with people that are like them. And I love that a lot. So that's what feeds my soul. And this podcast is my passion project. It's a chance for me to take care of myself and fill up my cup by getting to know other people that are like me and also understanding different perspectives than my own. A quote that was shared to me through Will Baggett, he's a very incredible speaker and has inspired me in this project so much. He mentioned this quote by Jordan, and he said, "We admire other people and their strengths, but we connect through our struggles." And I thought that was so amazing. Like, that is so true. Like, I love that. Like, the struggle part is what really brings people together. But then I wanted to add a piece to that. And I realized we don't find that connection in our struggles unless we talk about it, unless we share our story. So I want to add that and say we admire other people in their strengths. We connect through our struggles, but we don't find it until we share our story. So we find it through story. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to find connection through sharing my story and encouraging other people to do the same for them and share their own story. So to sum it up, Feed the Soul is my passion project and something I'll be working on that helps me take care of myself and I enjoy. And I want to inspire others to take care of themselves and just promote this conversation of recovery in the athlete world. As I begin to finish up this video, I just want to take a second to thank all of my family, my friends who have supported me through this process. And I know it's the first episode, but it just means a lot to me. And another aspect I love to talk about, but don't get the chance to do a lot of, is talk about how my dad's influenced this project. And for those who know, my dad was an entrepreneur. He had many different businesses, and I guess someone can look at me and say, oh, Livvy's an entrepreneur just like her dad. But I think what I want people to know is that I'm not starting a business or a brand or a company because he had his own brand or business. I'm starting a brand because I'm living my life through my passions like he lived his life through his passions. For him, it was video and storytelling in that way. For me, it will be this podcast. So thank you, Dad, for everything that you've given me and continue to give me even after you're not here anymore. But I think I'm wrapping up now, but again, I can't thank you guys enough for listening. It means the world to me. But thanks for listening to the first episode of Feed the Soul Company podcast, and I can't wait for you guys to join me on the next one.